But then you start digging and you're like, there's a lot going on. And there's a lot of really amazing people, really amazing businesses, creativity, inspiring stories. So it's just, I just feel like, the podcast has been even, has just unearthed more than I expected.
Season 4 finale.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
When we thought of this idea, I don't know, whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think? 24, we're talking about it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
I've probably chatted about this since, I don't know, 21, 22?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? What did you think when we were like serious in 24? What was your, I don't know, compare that to today.
Well, we were still trying to get to know people. And so we kept waiting, I think, until we felt like we knew enough people. And then we thought, well, maybe this is the way to actually get to know people.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've had a few business folks that have the same issue. They say, you kind of have I need money to start a business, but I need a business to make money, or I need people to start a business or whatever, right? A nonprofit. I need supporters. I need board members. But I also need the nonprofit. The energy around it also brings people. So if you don't have anything going on, what's the attraction? Except for just our good looks, and those weren't helping me.
Magnanimous personalities.
Okay, so here we are. We have the pleasure of going through all of the just our takeaways from season 4, and I think it's interesting to have you, my beautiful wife, on because you have a different take.
Yeah.
And in season 4, you've also begun helping us with some social media, mostly because I'm terrible at it.
I'm there already anyways. So.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it. Of course, I appreciated it. And we've seen a lot of action around that. A lot of people really engaged with it. A lot of people having fun on social media. So, so if you haven't checked us out on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, still no. Maybe yet to come. Facebook, Instagram, now and then on LinkedIn. Usually not, but those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the meta products, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know, right?
So
all our birds in one basket.
Yeah, I know. Eggs in one, all our birds in one egg. And we also have Maverick with us today.
Yes.
Nobody can see him, but he's back there. Yeah, before we get into the review of season 4, let's talk about you. We actually met in Cheyenne, Wyoming, but you're a military kid, so you were well-traveled.
Air Force brat.
Yeah, all around the U.S., western half of U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah. You avoided the East Coast somehow.
No, there's no missiles over there.
That's right, tennis missiles. So we only have missiles on the west side of the U.S. How do we feel about that? What about Eastern attacks? And then, and you have, you've done quite a few little entrepreneurial endeavors over our time. Your parents are not really entrepreneurial fully. They kind of have a little bent, maybe.
Yeah, I would say there was the mindset for it. As far as, when I wanted spending money, the general idea was, well, find someone's house to, house sit or babysit or dog walk or whatever. And that was really how I made a lot of my spending money. Yeah. Junior high, high school was always kind of find someone who needs something and see if they'll pay you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a small, babysitting / house sitting business.
Had your own little biz.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Unofficial, but yeah. Bought me my playing cards and yoo-hoos.
Important stuff when you're a teenager.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Movies.
And do you do a few things? You have a little furniture side
I do.
business, just to
Yeah, it's
flip.
just enough to be free therapy.
Free therapy.
That's what I call it.
Yeah. Free therapy. And you kind of break even. Yeah. You probably actually make more money than you spend now.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I know. But I still call it my free therapy.
We'll just keep saying that.
We'll just keep saying that. Yeah.
And then...
Because I love painting.
Yeah. You get to paint, sand. Sometimes I get to sand.
Get to just kind of
That's not
envision
therapy.
something. Yeah. You don't think it's therapy. No. Yeah. No, it's just the envisioning something and then seeing it come out and actually appear in, out in the world. It's kind of fun.
I think, who were we chatting with this about? The furniture, there's something about I think I've appreciated that you have seen a part of yourself in the way that you do furniture, that it's rescuing something. We've rescued more than one piece of furniture from certain thrift store or trash doom. We may or may not have picked up furniture off the curb before.
I know
a trash can.
That was my original business name back in California. It was always, because there was always stuff on the curb. And so it was just like, my blog was Off the Curb Designs. Yeah. And I decided to upgrade from that, but I still think it was a pretty good name.
That's a great name. Yeah, and it just talks about your heart to rescue things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take something broken and make it new again.
Yeah.
And not quite in the same way, but you also do a little bit of art therapy. It's not quite therapy. It's art healing. It's art. Get to know yourself.
Art encounters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, probably a similar thing. Obviously, for me, art has been kind of, again, as therapy, a saving thing for me, where I don't necessarily have to focus on the problems, but it just kind of offers a solution. And surprisingly, the walking people through, like, let's say, like, spirit-led is kind of where some of it started, was just encountering that inner voice or encountering Holy Spirit as you try to paint on canvas. And it's just the various prompts, of how you feel about something or how he feels about you or whatever. And the surprise of what comes out when you paint that down and when you just kind of sit and listen.
What's a favorite story that you've walked people through that they've come out with?
Well, there was one group of ladies that invited me over to a home, and one of the gals basically started her painting with a heart on the middle of the canvas. And then as she went through the next prompts, ended up covering the heart and just kind of was thinking, oh, the heart's gone, And then the end, the last final prompt actually made the heart, she painted the heart again, but like in a bigger and, brighter way. And so there was this like, kind of this moment of basically that what the heart represented for her. She thought it had died. She thought it was covered by all of the things that happened in her life. But really it was actually just transformed and it came back, bigger and better and all of that. And so it just gave her this like hope for basically all the work she's been doing, that it is amounting to something and, and what she thought she lost is not gone. And so, yeah, I just always love that. I mean, it always ends in tears, basically. We always cry. So I always have tissues every time we do events because it's happy tears. Sometimes it's sad tears, but often it's happy tears. It's that revelation of often that the things we think are gone are not gone.
It was crazy to me is how you lead people through an art encounter and they're the ones drawing. Like it's their hand, but they end up just shocked at what came out. Like that wasn't what they were thinking. It was like a whole new, it's like somebody came in and talked to them. It's a new message. So, and they get a lot out of it.
They get a ton out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still had gals a week later emailing me with other things they were realizing.
Yeah.
And or somebody would talk to them. They end up in a random conversation with someone they never met, and it related to what they painted. So yeah, it was fun. I really love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk about it, but since we are, is there a place that people contact you if they're interested in that? Do we have that?
Well,
They just contact me. You have a place.
I mean, they could email me, obviously. So it's Lavender and Yarrow Studios. I am on Facebook. And Instagram, actually. I'd be under Lavender and Yarrow on Instagram. And then, I guess just email lavenderandyarrow@gmail.com.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you want to do an event.
All right, side tangent. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so we get to go through all of our season 4, which we started this season 4 with a young one. Just a wee lad.
Just a wee lad.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
I know, Ryan. You're a grown
I
up.
hope you're listening. And you like that we called you a wee lad. What's a wee lad? Do you have any thoughts on Ryan? And we both have thoughts on. I'll start. I appreciated Ryan because, for one, I think it takes something as a younger man just to go on a podcast.
Yeah.
And he just went in full guns blazing, and even Maverick, you were there for off the camera, and we were just like, yeah, look at you, Ryan. He just showed up. So that was cool, and I just love it's just the fact that he is. He's doing it. It's like a classic teenager business, mowing lawns.
Yeah.
But he's not just mowing lawns. He's doing leaf stuff. He took that into junk removal, and he's expanding. And he's got that business mind. So I think just the fact that he is doing something is probably what I enjoy the most about Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just fun to see a young person have a goal. Maybe a lot of inspiration from his dad, who's a pilot, and he kind of has that dream, and then just to make a goal and start making money towards that end is, like, I respect that. It's pretty, and obviously he's hustling at a job as well, and so he's just kind of doing both sides, getting experience, knowing people, making money. I just think that's fun to see young people doing that.
It builds character. It gives us more than just money, especially at a younger age. We get a lot more than just cash from working a job and dealing with customers in your own business. Right. So
more than Yoo-hoos.
More than you. I haven't had a Yoo-hoo.
They were my favorite in junior high.
What is it, like a yogurt thing?
90s
No,
kid.
it's
It's a chocolate drink. It's
yes.
Not quite chocolate milk, but it's
that with
kind
the
of
rabbit?
similar. No,
that's something else.
No, that's the quick.
Oh, Nestle Quick, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was came in a glass bottle. And I think they still sell them somewhere. Yeah. I haven't had one since I was young. It's just what I imagine. It's like riding my bike to the local BX.
Did you drink it as you were riding your bike back?
No, you
drink
stop
at the BX?
Stop and you'd buy my pack of collecting cards, and I'd get a candy bar or something, and Yoo-hoo, and just sit and look through my cards and drink my Yoo-hoo, and I ride my bike home.
You're hilarious. So you went through all the whole episodes, and
Some problem.
Yeah. So Ryan and then Jordan Dean, right?
Well, and obviously, we went to, flashback way to a couple seasons back. Desiree was on, and we went to the Creativity Center when they were doing the unveiling of all this, all of the water tower projects. So we didn't know Jordan Dean at that point. I really hadn't heard of the water tower projects either. It was just kind of because I follow Desiree and I follow her Creativity Center stuff. I saw that they were doing this water tower project, and so that's why we went to the event and met Eric McDonald. So he's been on here, the painter, and and then once Jordan got that whole painting up, the first water tower is done, which is just gorgeous, like so fun. Just anywhere you drive around town and you just see it over the hills. This horses racing down the hills, kind of fun. And then and then we're just kind of like, oh, we should we've interviewed the people around him. We should probably see if he has time. And at that point, he'd won the water tower contest and nationally, and so then it was we should really know what is his story, how do you get there, how do you start painting gigantic things, being spatially I don't know, I was just like, how do you do that, and where does that inspiration come from? So it was just fun. It was fun to hear his story of just how he started with just we're all in junior high, right? When we start, and it's this curiosities and exploration and just finding a way to express himself. And I just,
He's so kind of like you. He went to the store and got cards. And I don't know what his drink was, but
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So he just had a really fun story. Obviously, he's supposed to come back and finish. We only got halfway through, I think.
We only got halfway through his story. Yeah. We got up to the point where I think has done his first mural. And that was it.
Yeah.
So, we get to learn how the next part, yet to be recorded, is how he went from first mural, where he's up on a lift that he doesn't know how to use because it's his first time.
Right.
To nationally awarded muralist.
Yeah.
And he's always, when we talked, you can hear it. He's learning. He's watching YouTube videos. He's reading books. He's meeting good artists. He's always I'm going to get better at my craft.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous because it pushes him out of what he knew.
Yeah.
When we get better at our craft, we might lose what we had before. You might lose that graphic design job.
Right.
Or whatever it is for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, good job. Appreciate you on the pod.
Yeah.
And can't wait to hear the new story.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. And then we had, right after Jordan, we had Steve Sears.
Yeah.
And Steve Sears he is one of the most encouraging people in town. He's always putting up Facebook things on, have a great day, you're a good person. And there's something about people who are encouraging that often has more depth to it. There's always a deeper story.
Yeah.
And he was willing to stop for a minute and talk about coming from a UPS, just delivering boxes to running a business.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I'm throwing it to you.
Throwing it to me.
I can keep going. I just chatted with Steve Sears just yesterday, and he's actually has something really cool and new in the works, which I will not reveal for him.
True.
But he's working on something different. And so he's kind of like Jordan. There's something else. There's something more with Steve. So stay tuned. He may just himself announce it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Huh? Yeah, I don't know. Obviously I've seen his stuff on Facebook and his encouragement, and I've seen how that, that's totally aside from the fact that he owns a stitch company, where they're, making all of the shirts and vests and different things for around here in town, local embroiderer and all of that. But just the stuff that he posts, and to be encouraging, and you can see there's quite a few people who look like they follow for that encouragement and that I'm not alone. And so that was probably one of the big things that for me kind of drew my attention to, and he owns, the stitch company too. So it's always, and he had a couple of other projects he was, working on. So he's just kind of I don't know if you'd call him a hustler, but he's an entrepreneur. He's thinking about,
that mind.
He's exploring ideas. I think that's really fun.
But isn't it something about like if you're an encouragement to others, if you see that need, he's seeing the need that people need to be encouraged, and he's following through. And that's not a paid gig, but it doesn't matter. People that fill needs.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's able to do something free and just encourage people is also the fact that he's a great entrepreneur and has all these other little things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And his encouragement to others, I'm thinking the fact that he can see into what somebody else needs, and that we all get depressed sometimes. The entrepreneurial journey can be lonely. I'm not saying it should be lonely. I'm saying it can be lonely.
We're hoping to make it less lonely. That's our goal.
This is part of making it less lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way. But for those listening, and even ourselves, he's encouraging because he realizes, I think, Steve, you tell me, but that we don't just need encouragement, but there's a intrinsic worthiness inside of us, that we are worthy regardless of the businesses we do, regardless of our behavior, we are just worthy. And he's good at just reminding people that it's not about what you do. It's not about, I don't know, whatever else you might think is driving your value. You're worthy because you're worthy. And knowing that you're worthy is pretty important to start a business or to build anything, because you have to know who you are first. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for offering that to us. Mm-hmm. Okay. And, I skipped something. I need to just go back on Jordan Dean, because Maverick provided us a note card, which I am following. And I just realized I was looking for names, and I did not point out Maverick's notes on Jordan Dean, that he followed his passions, and that's how he got into business. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, this just in. Jordan Dean followed his passion.
We need a camera on Maverick's face.
We need a camera on Maverick's face. Yeah. He's really appreciating this right now. Okay. And then we have Georgia and Dave Roswell. We just went to the art walk the other day. Saw them.
Yeah.
Dave was making stuffed animals.
Yep.
It was a kind of brutalistic, not like in the art sense, but brutalistic he had heads chopped off of one animal, and he was sewing them on it. It reminded me of Toy Story, when Sid is like mutilating these toys. But they were stuffed animals, so it was way cuter than that.
Way cuter.
And I'm trying to remember what the one he was sewing when we were there. It was a seal and oh, dang. I'm sorry, Dave. I lost it, but it was pretty fun. Yeah.
It was really fun.
And so he named some fun names.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it, go see Dave.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to Cheyenne, it's worth the trip just to see Dave's stuffed animal creations.
Yeah.
I don't know what those medleys. It's a medley of stuffed animals. What did you think about George and Dave's interview?
Well, obviously, love anybody who starts something that is still around 15 years later is really amazing. And something about the fact that they were willing to create it and give it momentum and then find others to carry it on, I feel was just very... most people who build something want to hold on to it and almost hold on to it so long that it dies, or it starts to die because we just need other people, like we need that synergy of other people's ideas and other people's people and, and all of that. And I just love how they see that. And so they're very much like a mother and father to the city. And overall, the number of people we run into, oh yeah. The Roswells, they started me. Or Dave, he taught me in high school. They're really, that father and mother to so many in the city. And being transplants and all that, it's just, I don't know. It's really fun to see them come from somewhere else, but come here and heavily invest. And so much so that I don't know if we met a lot of people that don't know them. And maybe people don't even know they started the Art Walk, right? But they know the fruit of the Art Walk, and then they go, what? They're the ones who started it. Because I just feel like there's that humility there that says, like, I'll start something great and I will let others run it, take credit for it, Like there's no kind of like pride or competition in that. You can see that in their gallery even. Like, it's just, they're promoting every artist they can. Of course, their own work is there, and they're excellent at what they do. And Georgia's, the way that she uses fabric and the way she communicates Wyoming landscape and, takes it from something yellow dead grass, to these beautiful, the depth of yellows there can be when it's dead, even, in the winter. And I don't know, I just really love her work, her textiles. So yeah, I have a lot to say about them. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched her do it. She introduced us to somebody, and who will be on the podcast at some point. I'm very excited about this artist, and just a young artist, just the way that she is doing her business is pretty cool. So she introduced us, and then I just watched her watch us connect with this person, and then I just saw her in my peripheral, and she just walked away.
Yep.
And I was like, that symbolizes what they do. They build connections, they build somebody else up, and then they walk away.
Yeah.
So, very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that wealth mindset, that's a wealthy
mindset,
mindset that is willing to do that. And that, again, another key to building something great, you got to let go.
Yeah.
It's so hard for people who build. I built it, and then to let it go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could talk about them for a long time and how much we appreciate them.
Yeah.
But we had somebody from Jackson, Wyoming, which is our first Jackson, Wyoming. I have actually been reaching out to a couple Jackson, Wyoming folks.
Yeah.
Because even though some people would like to say they're not part of Wyoming, they are part of Wyoming.
That's right.
Jackson, Wyoming, you are part of Wyoming.
That's right.
It's okay. That's only down here, up in Jackson. They're like, yeah, we're Wyoming.
That's right.
So Stephen Abrams was on, and he had a podcast. Now, I met him through some other folks at a conference, and they were generous with their connections, and they found out that I did a podcast. And they're like, you have to talk to Stephen Abrams because he did this podcast, and it was a great gift to Jackson. And he started it, and then he followed through, and he finished, and then he stopped the podcast. Speaking of letting things go, it's a different way of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, his story, what he shared was again that idea that you can build something and there can be a time limit on it, like that there can be a season for it. So he spent that time essentially recording history, and trying to inspire and all of that, and then in the midst of that, meeting so many people that more opportunities came his way, and he found himself investing in other business ventures and other ways that he could support his community, and to where eventually, like, it's that question mark of like, do you keep splitting your time, or do you just put all of your time in a new place? And so I feel like his idea of knowing when it's time to just be done and be like, that's enough. I can't remember how many seasons he recorded, but it's still there. You can still listen to it, and it's still, those stories are still available. And it's a little bit like, I don't know, I guess it gives that perspective on podcasting. Like, I think podcasting can feel like, oh, we're just going to be influencers, and we're just going to and maybe it's shallow, or it's just for marketing, or it's just, shallow. There's a lot of that idea that podcasting is just shallow and it's that quick. Oh, we're going to do it and we're going to get money and we're going to, move and shake. But there's this other perspective that it's more, maybe it's a documentary, and maybe it's like little short stints of a documentary. that can be built into that bigger picture. And it seems like he kind of had that perspective on it where it was like, yeah, I want to record. I mean, was it the World War II veteran guy? You know, like those stories, like that man's going to pass away, but his story won't, you know? And I feel like that's that other perspective. And I think probably more the perspective we come from in doing a podcast is that stories are important and they should be recorded. And there's only the present for now, you know, and those stories will go or die or whatever if they're not told, if they're not recorded. And yeah, so he kind of had a similar vision, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're anywhere near ending ours, but
No.
but knowing that, yeah, it can have a season and a purpose and it can be done. Yeah.
Yeah. Even just the value of a story. That a person's voice is valuable. Their stories are valuable. My favorite one being tying a chain around the sheriff's back bumper or axle or whatever he did.
Yeah. That is so like that generation, isn't it,
Yeah, I
though?
know.
Like boomers, don't they do? Like I feel like so many boomers I know have similar stories.
Yeah.
Messing with the police. Yeah. That's funny.
I don't know how well that'd work out today, but
I don't think it'll work out
it's a funny
today.
story. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
And here's the person who is killing it on the socials, Eloy Martinez.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah. People loved Eloy's. Like, what is it? 1,500 views or something on one of
At
the
least,
reels.
yeah.
And like lots of comments and lots of views on YouTube.
I
and-
love Eloy. I love his fill in the blank, you know? Yeah. Coffee, the food, what is there a food that you see most often that people love?
I think the burritos came up a lot. Of course, that's my favorite, so that's why I noticed probably. The green chili smothered burritos.
Yeah.
Man, hungry every day when I think about that. He has a really good lavender coffee too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Eloy was way before he was an entrepreneur. And I think Maverick, in your notes, quick breaking news from Maverick, how he was entrepreneurial minded before he was an entrepreneur. Exactly that. He was asking wealthy people who came into his restaurant, you know, recipes for success, I should say for him. I'm just like, are you still doing that, Eloy? Like that, what a brilliant thing. So I know we've talked about that.
I bet he is. I mean,
gosh.
this coffee shop's kind of a hub downtown.
Yeah.
So
Well, for very successful people. We should have him back on and be like, tell us the
the
top
stories.
300 things you hear because I want to know them all.
Yeah.
What are all the success things?
Yeah. 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 And he's just so humble about everything he's done as well. And he's very like willing to share the risks he took and that scary moment of, I've got $800 left and I got to ask the energy company the fact that he would ask, right? That he wasn't afraid. He's not afraid to ask. He's not afraid to take the risk. And I think that was I don't know, I guess that's a big one because I feel like we can all kind of feel like, well, we got to have this much money saved up and I've got to have this kind of education and knowledge and, you know, all of that. And sure, he had a lot of experience in the restaurant business, but he'd never run a coffee shop before, you know, like that was totally new. And yeah, he just took what he had and he made it work. And so I just feel like that is, yeah, we don't all, I mean, like he obviously had the connection that showed him because of how hard he worked and he asked and he, you know, he stayed curious. But really he made it work and, it's that grit and that perseverance, to show up and to make what you have work, even when it feels like it's not enough, you know? So yeah, I guess I just really appreciated how he was just super honest and, you know, and it wasn't like, oh, it was so perfect and everything was great and I had all the money in the world, you know? It was just, he was like, no, it would have broke me. Like if it hadn't been successful right off the bat, he'd be done. Like that's, I think, the risk a lot of people don't want to take. think that's why a lot of people don't want to be entrepreneurs, because we don't want that that vulnerability, you know, that I could fail. And maybe even feel like you're failing in the middle of actually being successful, you know? So we can look back on it and say, oh yeah, success. But it probably felt like failing at the time, or almost failing.
Or even now, like, you know, I'm interested in his story, but trying to imagine myself saying that story, maybe not the first one you think of.
Right.
Oh, look, I made what appears to be a poor decision. I'm not saying you did either way. I'm just saying it could be like, well, you know the story, my love, but I quit my job way back in the day when we launched into entrepreneurship, and I was telling this friend of mine, big kind of friend, you know, kind of acquaintance, and I was like, hey, I quit my job, because he's like, what's new? I was like, well, I quit my job. And he looks at me with this look and was like, and he was a businessman, you know, he's like an entrepreneur. I figured he'd get it, but he was like, is that a good thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like being, not having the perfect job, or things not being perfect. We all know. Yeah, that doesn't always bode well in some circles, in many circles.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful.
That's right. Yeah. Just remember that most millionaires have been zero errors.
That's right.
Or negative. Bankruptcy is kind of not that it should be, you know, but you have to be willing to take a risk.
Yeah. You got to risk big if you want to win big, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. You got to risk big if you want it. You could take that well, and then part of me is like, yeah, think about it.
Like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, but how do you? Anyway, so I'll be thinking about. So then after Eloy Martinez, who was just full on like entrepreneur of entrepreneurs, entrepreneur before he was an entrepreneur, we have Jory Kuyten, who is in some ways completely different and in some ways very similar, because he's not even an entrepreneur. He's an employee.
Yeah.
Just like Eloy was an employee.
Right. But he's a planter, right? So planters are very similar. And you have to have that entrepreneur mindset. Have to have the hustle, have to meet people and connect. Well, he's still connecting product to people. Yeah. The fact how fast he moved was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, as soon as we shared his stuff on socials, he also had a lot of, followers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, tell us about the after story.
Just a lot. Yeah, just again, a lot of people who were liking and sharing, and obviously, that's the thing we always try for on the podcast. Like we want to promote them, and as they promote, the podcast we put them on, that promotes them, but it also promotes us. And so some people who have more of a following, and share and all of that on their socials. And then we just see that upswing of following, and then people wanting to watch other people's stories. And of course, he's our second roofer. So it kind of flashed back. Some people went back and looked at our other roofer story, and and it was fun to see, I guess, because he's kind of known. Yes, he's known as he brought the roofing company to Cheyenne, but he's always at all the events. And if you were to know him for anything, that's probably, the biggest thing is that he's everywhere all the time. And then just how that reflects, I guess, just with, him. And then all of a sudden you get to know 20 more people because of who he knows. And that was kind of fun. Fun to see how his episode, I guess, brought more relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. How his episode brought more relationships. He is, he marketed, he shared, and I don't know. There's something just that hustle mindset says, yeah, I'm gonna,
I'm gonna share. Yeah,
I haven't quit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about it before, but he sat down with a clear plan, found strategy. Had a team around him to help him when he got down, to help him to know what to do next. Yeah. And then he just worked the plan. And it is boring to talk about, but it is so simple. If you want to start a business, what are you going to do? Just to build a plan, to strategy, get people around you, must have people around you, and then work the plan. Start your business. Yeah. So take a risk. Do an Eloy. Go for it, but have your plans. Right after Jory, we had Bobby Collins, who Eloy did pretty well. Eloy, good job. But Bobby's, I think she probably has had the most YouTube views.
Most YouTube views.
Yeah, see, people, this is the behind the scenes. People don't know. They're getting the behind the scenes right now.
Yeah. She had the most YouTube views and shares. And and the most, like, the most number of people who were just like, I'm truly inspired.
Oh, yeah.
By that story. Like, because she just was, well, again, willing to share such a vulnerable story. And then how that just didn't break. She didn't let it break her. And that she's looking around and seeing those who have similar struggles. And she's like, how can I help? And I don't know, that heart is just really inspiring. Obviously she shared her faith and just like, it just seems like a lot of people are really drawn to that and really inspired by that. And so yeah, her episodes had a lot of momentum. I'm hoping that means that more people are coming to support what she's doing in Glen Rock. You know, that she's going to get more friends and favor versus that resistance she was having. So, but yeah, she's got a powerful story.
A powerful story. Yeah, I'm actually, we talked about she sent me a text right after the episode. I think a couple days after we interviewed, something like that. And she was like, I got my 501c3.
Yeah.
She's doing something so innovative. They weren't even sure what tax, whatever, bracket. Structure thing, not bracket. Structure. To put her in.
Yeah.
And you love that. That, again, we're seeing problems. We're solving problems here. But I keep thinking especially after seeing the comments and some of her emotions about how it felt to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just like, she drove all the way down.
Yeah.
What, a couple hours, 2.5 hours, something like that?
Almost 3 hours,
Almost 3 hours. She drives all the way down early in the morning. She sits down with a couple of strangers, a couple of guys down here, really, and had an interview that was just really hard and then drove back. And I'm just thinking, I don't know what that was like for her. But afterwards, I'm like, oh, that was probably harder for her than I was thinking. Of course it was. Because, anyways, I see more courage afterwards that she took that big risk.
Yeah.
And so that's obviously how she's building. What she's building now.
Yeah. Well, and she plans to continue to share her story as she's going. So I know if you follow her on social media, she's going to share even more than we got to share. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more to her story and a lot more of what she's going to build. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So thank you, Bobby, for taking that huge risk to be on our podcast and be vulnerable. And you're building something good. So keep going. We're behind you.
That's right.
And then Jasmine Jackson was just another, right? It was like back to back. And hearing Jasmine Jackson, especially shortly after Bobby, I don't know. I can only handle so many of these stories. She has a great story.
Your eyes are watery right now.
She has a great story, but so much courage.
Yeah.
To build a whole event thing. As a single mother, she had a lot of things. She had, she's a Black woman in a mostly white area. She's a woman. She thinks differently than a lot of other people. There's just she's a single mother.
She lost family.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. 2 brothers in the middle. Then she got COVID. Let's just add that to the pile.
Right. Yeah.
So there's another courage story.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed about it.
Courage. And and she's using her platform. I mean, so obviously we we did a quick turnaround on her episode because in February she's doing her Black Excellence Project, and that's where she features, other Black business owners in Cheyenne, and just trying to like raise awareness. Like, for one, they live in Wyoming. There is a community here. They're a strong and thriving community, full of amazing creative people. And so, like, just the fact, we went to her event last year, and of course, it was kind of a photo gallery of the different business owners and the ability to meet them, and I just thought it was just a really beautiful project. So we kind of wanted to make sure that her episode came out while that project was happening. I think it's like, this will come out after, but it was the 28th of February. And she just has a really beautiful venue. Obviously, she's giving others a place to do. And that was one of the hardest things. Like she said, one of the most expensive things for her was the place to do the event. You can have the idea, you could have the people, but where do you do it? And now she's, providing that for the community, and it's a fun location, and she's super creative. Like, you walk in the lobby, and I think that was what was fun too. We walked in the lobby, and it was like, oh, like, where do we choose to interview? Because she has so many beautiful spots in it. Like, we could have done the radio show with all the albums on the wall and the velvet couch. It was just kind of like, what do we choose? I just think that's fun to have that kind of venue in town where you walk in and you kind of feel transported. And then obviously she has the back room where it's wooden floors and beams, and just kind of that classic Cheyenne, Wyoming look. But they can be transported into anything, and lots of people have done really cool events there. So I don't know. Yeah, just her taking that risk and that thinking. It wasn't just a space for her to make events, which she could. She could just be like, these are just only my events happen here. But yeah, she's opening it up. So again, another person in town who is opening it up to others, taking, this is the opportunity that I have, and I'm going to make sure that others also have it. And so that was one thing I really appreciated about her too. And well, she just has such a kindness when we met her.
She did. Yeah. Yeah. Really enjoyed that time with Jasmine, and like I said, the courage.
Yeah.
So many. I mean, as I meet people like her, it makes me want to circle back. And we don't talk strategy or tips and tricks or whatever, how to build a good business, but all of these excellent business people. And I'm like, let's go through the 5 different 5 steps. So we'll see. Yeah. We may do that in the future somehow. Right. So. You said she's sharing with the community, and another one. And I'm like, okay, so that's what Jasmine did, right? She's opening up her first privately owned venue that she's opening up for others, and she's promoting others. She's promoting women through it. She's promoting minorities, people who are not often promoted.
Yeah.
And so she's giving them space. Bobby is doing very similar thing, and in a little different way, though. She's making sure that those who are under food insecurity might be an issue, and anything else she can solve while she's at it.
Right.
There's a need, and and so she's building something to share.
Yeah.
And then, you can just look through Jory and Eloy, the Roswells we talked about, they're doing exactly, we just went on and on about that. And, Steve Sears I know he's giving opportunities to some other small businesses in town. And Jordan Dean didn't even want us to promote him, but wanted us to promote somebody else, another great artist, for Contact. And that's that giving heart over and over again. That is frequently the entrepreneurial mindset of I'm seeing a need, I'm going to fill it, I'm going to help other people around me. I don't know how many times the phrase "a rising tide raises all ships" has come up on this podcast. I have never said it.
Yeah.
I don't think ever. Just people around just talk about that phrase, and it is a perfect phrase.
It is.
Yeah. especially for a podcast with a sail as a logo.
That's
so
right.
a rising tide raises all ships. And Carolyn Richard of Adopt an Airman was she was exactly that. All she just wanted to promote the people around her and say, yes, I built it, but there are so many other people that helped build it. And she just kept on bringing up names, and it was sad because we had to cut some of that out just to get the story in. But she just kept promoting other people. And honestly, if you just have a conversation in a bar or something, you don't always hear that promotion of other people.
Yeah.
But not Carolyn. She would just promote and didn't want to talk about herself, even because she was just, she realized that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a business.
Nice.
Yeah. That's not a rising tide raises all ships analogy. Anyways, I enjoyed my conversation with Carolyn and just appreciate what she's doing with Adopt an Airman.
Yeah.
So, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, it was fun to hear her story because I obviously grew up Air Force brat.
Yeah.
And that concept of, you go to new communities, and when people find out you're military, it's very hard to make friends because they're like, well, you're going to be gone in a couple years. And, I need to make friends with people who are going to be here. Basically, it's that how much room in our hearts do we have kind of a thing, I guess,
Yeah.
But we always found people. Obviously, I met you through military,
That's right.
High school, and you were like the one friend that kept writing. So, well,
Okay.
he had other reasons, but
I'll put you're a beautiful girl from California.
that's right. Yeah, but I enjoyed her story just from that perspective of being military, understanding that perspective that, that you want to know people. And kind of, when you're in the military, your mindset is, well, I want to get to know the people where I'm living now. I have a short window of time to kind of get to know this culture and get to know these people. And so, we kind of come in with the mindset of let's make friends. Let's go places. Let's go hiking. Let's go. Show me what you guys do, And so then when you kind of get there and people are like, oh, you're going to be gone. I don't want to hang out with you. Then it can be lonely. So I just think it's really, really cool that she thought, let's take that problem. Let's find the people who want to know that our young military, especially our young single military, because of course I moved everywhere with my family. So we had each other. But yeah, for our single airmen that they don't have anyone, they're just suddenly in a new place and in a new career probably, right? It's a lot of change for them. And of course, there's plenty of people in this community who want to invest, and want to know them and talk to them and know their story and take them hiking. And I don't know, just to see that she organized the people for that. I mean, that's just so cool. I love that. Obviously the stories she told were really good, really fun. I mean, obviously we know within the military community, the struggle with mental health and loneliness and suicide is a big thing. And one of the big cures for that is community. So the fact that she is helping provide that, I mean, it's really powerful, really powerful.
Yeah, she's doing great work. And if you have an opportunity to get involved in and adopt an airman, or in your city, if you're outside of the city, something similar, it's not just valuable for the person you're helping. It's so incredible for yourself. And I don't know how I can communicate that well enough, but it's a powerful experience and so helpful in so many ways. And yeah, we should have room in our hearts for people who are, here for a moment. Yeah, that enriches all of us. So another person who knows what it's like to go from town to town, almost like a military person. Anybody in the construction business, and Murad was in kind of the IT side of construction, the technical side, and he knows what it's like to go to small towns. I think his smallest town was 300. Maverick, you remember? Small, 20 people. I don't know, not that small, but very small. And his and so he is, and he knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to be alone, and to be alone starting a business. Or, his career, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had the whole degree and everything, and it was still difficult to make his way in. Yeah. Yeah. So for him to take that struggle and turn around and say, hey, I'm going to help. I'm going to help. I'm going to take what I've gained and, turn around and help people who are now presently in the position he was in. And again, that strength in community. And there really isn't a ton of like, as far as young professionals go. If you go to kind of networking events, it's a lot of older established business owners, which is great, just has its lane. But what if you're young, right? What if you're young and you got your master's degree and you're a professional? What about that? That's a whole different network you need for that. And so, he's bringing people in that whole genre together. And obviously he's connecting them to the older established business owners as well. Because again, we need each other. We don't need to just stay in our own little pools and age groups, right? We need to cross barriers, kind of a thing. So it's fun to see that he does that. And just that he as well, English is not his native language. But it doesn't stop, it doesn't stop him. Like, I feel like that could be such a barrier or such a, like, maybe even a fear. And, cause I know, like, if I were to go to Jordan and know, and try to learn their language, well, like we joke about even with Spanish, it's like, I talk like a baby, So if I were to go in and have to speak Spanish and that be, my primary way of communicating, I feel like that could be really scary and really intimidating and maybe even just almost a natural barrier. But it's like, this doesn't even cross his mind. Like, he's just like, I'm going to connect because we have commonalities and we're going to find our commonalities. I feel like he's really good at that. Like, he's just really good at finding what people have in common and helping connect beyond anything that might try to be a barrier. So I really respect that about him.
It's kind of like back to Elo and Martinez, how there's a humility involved of being willing to look dumb.
Yeah.
I remember speaking Spanish when I lived in Mexico for a little bit, and I've just felt like an idiot most of the time. And you just say things wrong and call yourself a girl and tell people to spit on you, and that's just like those ones. Every sentence you're just stupid and you can't find the right words, so you say something else, which isn't really what you wanted to say. And he's willing to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of humility, a lot of courage. His probably, we've seen this in the Roswells, and we talked about it. Some people call this level 5 leadership, where you are not just willing to build something. So you took the step, you built it.
Yeah.
Now that you built it, you brought other people on. Now that you brought other people on, you're willing to step out, and then not only just step out, but it thrives as good or better when you're gone.
Yeah.
And he sees that mark from the beginning. Not most, but many people who build things see that when they're closer to retirement age. But here he is, and he's like, I might be gone. His point is not that he's leaving.
No.
His point is he's going to build something that's going to last.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that legacy.
So that's kind of what we want to do, is we want to build things that last. Even you talked about that concept with Stephen Abrams. He's building a podcast that goes into perpetuity. Our lives do make a difference, and what we build has impact. And it may not feel like it at the time, but it does over time.
Yeah.
Do you have any last thoughts over this course of the season?
Well, it's been really fun. Obviously, we've had a few more in studio in our basement in
Which
Wyoming.
you helped design. Thanks.
Yeah.
Was it not for your impact, there would be no plants.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, and probably more holes in the walls that I didn't catch.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's just been fun to have people over, and then also just to be able to promote their spaces. And like you said, we went to the art walk recently, and all of a sudden, like, we know people, and we're excited for them, and they're excited to share the new things they're doing. And yeah, so it's just like kind of beyond what I imagined initially with, we just kind of thought, well, we'll just promote people. And really, like, it does feel like, we're getting to know people. And
what are some...
go ahead.
Well, I'm just, you're probably going there, but what are some surprising... was fruit, is that the word? Surprising, we just wanted to promote people. We just wanted to build something that builds up others, helps us to connect, probably. But we just felt like there's a lot of wealth in our local business community, and those stories are helpful to everybody. But it's become more than that.
Yeah. Well, it's almost a different Cheyenne in some ways. I mean, it's the same, but it's, obviously still the town you grew up in. It's, obviously it wasn't my hometown, but I lived here we've lived here a lot of my years, and obviously high school being spent here and all of that. And so when we got married here and then we left and then we came back, I mean, obviously the Roswells are like a huge part of like a lot of what changed. We realized, like this whole art community that popped up that's so exciting to come and see, was because of their willingness to build that. Yeah, I just feel like we kind of knew a certain facet. We grew up in a certain side of Cheyenne, and now we're beginning to see this whole other world that is here, and almost like silently here, because again, most of these people who are building stuff are not like trumpets on the rooftops. Look at me, they're just quietly promoting each other. They're quietly promoting, looking for new people to promote, and so yes, it's like the loudness of promotion, but it's just these subtle events that are happening, and you kind of actually have to look for them. And I think that was the other reason like the podcast felt important, because it was like everyone else isn't looking to like look at me, but like we really should look at them. Like there's this whole thing going on in Cheyenne, but in greater Wyoming. I mean, obviously as Bobby showed, with Glen Rock, and we're looking for more people, that are not just in our small town here. But to imagine, I think we imagine a small town, you imagine there's not much going on, but then you start digging and you're like, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of really amazing people, really amazing businesses, creativity, inspiring stories. So it's just, I just feel like, the podcast has been even, has just unearthed more than I expected, I think. And it's fun to know people, but it's just fun to continually find, I guess, what's hiding in Cheyenne and Wyoming and the surrounding areas. And there's a lot here.
There's something I like about there's just that, the story, to hear somebody else's story opens up a window to them that you don't get just by, it's beautiful to meet somebody, but especially if you just go into a business and walk out of a business with a product. But who was behind it? Who built it? And why did they build it? And what was hard about that? And what is their joy and their motivations? So, So thank you, my love, for taking the time to be on this podcast. We appreciate what you're doing. Say it out loud. You've helped from the very beginning to find formats. You've helped to find logo, colors, because I'm colorblind, for everybody knows. If anything looks halfway decent, it's not me. And you've just been a big encouragement and support, and just a smart brain in the process. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
You've been part of my team. Okay. Thank you all for listening. Till then, happy sailing.